Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of How to Play Minecraft with me, Throwlash. Today I think we're gonna farm a couple of animals. We'll go out and grab some, hopefully some cows, maybe some sheep. And I would like to check on that village that we saw earlier. Hopefully we can find some iron, maybe to upgrade our tools. But let's jump right into it, shall we? And by jump right into it, I think what I meant was I'm going to come over here to this small little island here, right? I'm going to cut down all these trees and replant them, okay? I want to be close to my seeds so that way they continue to grow. But I definitely want to get as much wood as I possibly can because wood, like I said last episode, is an extremely crucial resource and we use it almost for everything. So I'll be back once I'm done doing this. Now, one new axe and a trip back home to sleep through the night later, and we have ourselves a cleared out island as well as two and almost another half stack of spruce logs. This is great. Like I said, wood is extremely important for every single day in Minecraft. You need wood for a lot of things. So this will keep us set for a while for building, for making tools, etc., etc. I'm really great that we were able to do this. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to replant your trees after you knock down an entire forest like we just did. It's just going to help you in the future when you're in need of wood and you don't have to wait for a tree to grow up. You can just go ahead and cut down the ones that you've already planted yourself. Now, growing trees, I would keep trees, saplings, pretty spaced down away from each other, a good 4 or 5 blocks maybe. When we, in a future episode, get to wood farming, I'll show you a trick with spruce trees and how you can farm, gosh, hundreds of spruce logs with one tree. And some of you with keen eyes may have noticed that I placed a torch down over there and we have a couple of bits of what is known as sugar cane growing here. Now, I might change this setup. I think I actually am going to change this setup a little bit to where we have a plank here and I think a plank here. And what this is going to allow us to do is we can put torches on the sides of these planks, right? And it will give us more room for the sugar cane to grow, because sugar cane needs water in an adjacent block so that it can actually be planted. So what these torches will do is hopefully melt some of this ice and we'll be able to grow more sugar cane in the future. You know, on second thought, I just tore that down. No reason to have that operation all the way on the other side of this little frozen lake. We just put it over here next to our original farm. Oh, and it's getting nighttime, and I am trying to get back to my house, and we have run into our first mob. I believe this is our first anyways. I would like to... let's see, and the sun's gone down enough. This zombie is no longer burning in the sunlight. We're going to go ahead and swipe our sword at this guy just like we would have just like we did, excuse me, that cow in the beginning there, and we went ahead and got ourselves a monster hunter. Perfect. I'm going to hide in my little hole now. Now, that zombie spawned in the cave that's directly underneath our house. So it might be a good idea, before we go out hunting for some cows and other animals to bring back with us, it might be a good idea to light this cave up a little bit. I don't want to venture too far into it just in case. Oh, it looks like there is some lighting in the back as well. So we're just going to go ahead and place torches a little bit at a time. I wonder where that lights... Ah, glow lichen. Yep. So glow lichen is something that's brand new to 1.18, and what it will do is generate randomly, I believe only underground. I could be wrong about that. And it will shed a little tiny bit of light. So glow lichen will give off light level 7. And with the new 1.18 light mechanics, things can only spawn in a light level 0, right? So glow lichen will stop spawns, just a little bit of them though. Now, this is a pretty big cave, but we'll go ahead and light up as much as we can here. Perfect. Nothing really else in that cave besides a little bit of coal and a couple of pigs at the end of it. I didn't realize there was 2. I would have saved the both of them to start breeding up. But I saw one and then got a little excited because I needed some food, killed it, and then saw the other. So no worries there. We'll go ahead and put all of our logs back into our chest. We'll put the spruce saplings into our chest as well, and we're going to save some of these sticks. I'm actually going to grab 14 sticks here because I believe with 14 sticks we will make an entire stack. Nope. 16. I think it's 16 sticks will get us an entire stack of torches. So let's go ahead and make a little bit extra. So now we have 64 torches with all that coal that we used, which is absolutely perfect. We got a little bit of extra cobblestone as well. And we'll go ahead and cook up our pork chops. And now, after we cook up those pork chops, I feel a lot safer that that's lit up now. After we cook up our pork chops, we're going to take these 9 bits of wheat that we've gotten from our seeds. We'll go see if there's any more that have grown up into wheat that we can harvest. And we'll go ahead and look for some cows that are around. Now, cows are really great to start farming because steak is one of the best foods in the game, especially early game, as well as cows give us leather. And if we don't find any iron soon, we can use leather for things like armor, and we can also use leather for bookshelves. Now, bookshelves are super important once you get a little bit later in the game. When you start enchanting things, you need bookshelves in order to get better enchantments for your tools. We'll do an entire episode or two on enchantments. So for right now, let's grab all of this pork chop here and we'll go and find ourselves some cows. And here is our first oak tree, all right? I was going to go over that way to the forest where we had originally saw cows earlier, but I figured why not go over to the village? And then I also realized that I forgot to bring my bed with me. So one great thing about villages is naturally generated villages will usually have beds in the houses that are there. I'm really hoping that this village isn't a zombie village. That would be very bad for us at the moment. All right, we have 2 oak saplings. That is more than enough. As long as you get 1 oak sapling, you can replant the tree and get even more saplings. So let's run over to that village and see what there is to see. Hopefully they have a bed for us that we can use to pass the night away. Oh, and it looks like far off in the distance there are some mega spruce trees. Oh, I gotta be careful. Watch where I'm walking. Oh, it looks like we're going into a mega taiga. Mega taiga? I can never remember how to pronounce it. And those are kind of the spruce trees that I was talking about earlier, where you can plant spruce trees in saplings in a 2x2 formation. So there's like a little pocket of 4 of them, and they will grow into these huge mega spruce trees that have usually a good 100 wood that you can harvest. Now, this is our first interaction with swimming. If you jump into water and you go underwater and press the control key, you can actually start swimming. And swimming is just a little bit faster way of getting through the water. To go back up in water, once you start to, you will just naturally sink down. Hold the space bar. This will allow you to go back up. If you want to go down, you can press the shift key, and you will sink like like lead. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swim on over to this village. We're going to hope it's not a zombie village. That would be very bad for us. And it doesn't look like it is. And we'll check out some of the inhabitants over here. Oh my goodness, there is so much to take in here. So much. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these reeds here. Sugarcane here. And we're also going to grab these guys, which are sweet berries. Now, sweet berries, if the bush is fully grown like this one is, and you have berries that is on the bush, you can right-click it and it will pop some berries off. But be careful. You see how this one went a little farther away? If you go into the berry, it will hurt a lot. Usually in areas where I don't want these berry plants to be, I'll just go ahead and break them. They still drop the berry, and I don't have to worry about walking into them. So now you can see in our village here that there are a couple of auto-generated structures. The villagers have houses. The villagers have this structure here, which I believe is one of the churches that will generate in villages. There's also some pumpkins here that we'll go ahead and pick up. Oddly enough, the tool of choice for a pumpkin is an axe. So I'm glad that we always have our axe with us. So we're going to go ahead and pick those up. Pumpkins are really great for composting and trading with villagers. Now, some people think it's rude to just bust into villagers' houses and pilfer all of their worldly belongings, but it's a game. I'm gonna go ahead and just take what I need, essentially. So as you can see, some of these houses, some of these places will have chests inside of them. Some of the better chests with better loot will be in places like the blacksmith will have a really good chest. Sometimes they will have like armor and tools, etc. How do I get into your church here? There we go. This place is going to have, this is a brewing stand. I'm going to go ahead and break that and pick that up. Oh, look, a little extra bit of decoration here. Oh, it looks like it's getting nighttime. We might need to use that bed that we just pilfered. And a villager, our first villager. And I think there was a cow over there. So I'm going to go ahead and set up bed right next to this fine villager here. We'll just sleep next to each other. We just met, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. And the villager will pop out of his bed and he says, "Hello, how are you today?" That's correct. That is correct. Sir, I mean you no disrespect whatsoever, but I'm going to go through all of your worldly belongings. Yes, potatoes. Perfect. Now, potatoes are just another crop that we can pick up and plant in the ground. Oh, they have some campfires here, too. Now, campfires you can't pick up just by using an axe or any tool. You actually need a tool with an enchantment on it called Silk Touch, and that will allow you to pick up any block in its original form. So we're going to keep all these campfires here. I'm going to go through and... Whoa! Okay, house party. Let's leave them alone. I'm going to go through a lot of these houses, pilfer what I can, and I will bring you back with any fun goodies when I find them. Now, before I do, actually, I forgot to mention this gentleman. This is an iron golem. Now, iron golems will spawn in villages, and they will spawn when villagers are in distress, and they will defend them. Very, very hard. Iron golems hit like a truck. So if you find one in a village, don't hit it. Don't hit it. It will end you. Now, this block here is a fletching table. This block actually has no in-game use. I'm right-clicking on it. Nothing's happening. The only thing that you can use that block for is to give a villager a job. Now, villagers will get jobs based on what job blocks are around. I think I'm going to swap out this blue bed for this purple bed because I'm a fan of the color blue, or color purple, excuse me. Now, villagers will get different jobs based on different job blocks that are around in their vicinity. There's the Fletcher, which obviously uses that fletching table, the librarian, there's the fisherman, a mason, a stone worker, etc., etc. Now, the greatest thing that you can do with villagers, I think I'm actually going to try and break this house party up so people can get out of here. Let's get rid of this door. There you go, gentlemen. Villagers will trade with you based on what job they have, and it looks like really the only job block that's in this village is that fletching table. So right here, the guy with the little hat with the feather is our Fletcher. Now, Fletchers will buy sticks from us for this currency called emeralds, all right? Emerald is an ore that you can find in the game. Fletchers are actually really, really great villagers to have in the early game because getting an abundance of sticks is super, super easy. Oh, perfect. Iron nuggets. Great. It's not exactly an iron ingot, which is what we need to make our fancy tools. Let me put your door back for you, sir. But it is great that we've got ourselves a couple of nuggets. Now, iron nuggets you can craft if you have 9 of them into iron ingots, and iron ingots are what you use to make better tools, etc. Oh, and we have a little pupper dog over there. We're going to leave him alone until we get some bones. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kill this cow. I know he's relatively close to our house, but I do need some extra food, and I would rather have 2 cows that we could breed together and get some extra food. Now, I think we're going to leave our villagers alone for a while. This guy is in here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to grab some cobblestone, and I'm going to block up this guy's exit because I don't want him to get hurt anywhere. Zombies will come through, and they will kill villagers and turn them into zombie villagers. it's really not fun for the villagers at all. We'll actually block this guy in as well. We need 2 villagers in order to start breeding more villagers, so we're gonna lock these guys in here. Locking more in would be great, so most villages will spawn with this little bell here. If you right click on it, all the villagers will think, oh my gosh, there's a problem. They will go into their respective homes. And I'm going to go ahead and lock up as many as I can. We have 3 there. Let's let these gentlemen out of their little boat. Oh, and I've just heard the meow of a cat. Villages will also spawn cats as well. And cats you can tame and make your own, just like that wolf we found. But we'll get to that in a different episode. Now, with those villagers locked up, I see some cows over here on the other side of the shore. The village is right over there. I'm going to go ahead and actually use this opportunity. I'm going to put this wheat in my offhand, which will attract these cows to me. And I'm going to just walk back home. And these cows should walk back home with us. We're going to have to do a little bit of swimming, but that's okay. Make sure you don't run when you're attracting animals, because they will become a little bit too far away from you. And they will stop tracking you. They will stop coming towards you. So when you're trying to get animals to follow you, just take your time. Now, it's taken us the whole day and even into some of the next, but our cows are here home with us. And we have a bit of an issue. Cows really shouldn't be free roaming animals, because if I let go of this wheat and they choose to ignore me, they will just wander the land. And we don't want that. We want them in one location so we can raise them and then slaughter them for their delicious meat. So what I think I'm going to do right now is I'm going to build ourselves a little cow pen. Now, I'm going to use a lot of that wood that we got from cutting down that forest before. So if you bear with me for just a moment, I'll clear this area out. And I'll come back when we have ourselves a little cow pen. And you know what? On second thought, I think I'm going to put this cow pen up here. I think it makes a little more sense to have it up here. And what we're going to do for this cow pen is have a little bit of an interesting, different shape to it. We'll go ahead and put support, support pillars essentially for the fence itself. Let's bring these cows over here. With kind of a random placement for these support pillars. Let's go ahead and put this here. I want to make it relatively large. We'll get a nice big population of cows in here, but nothing unmanageable. Let's go ahead and just keep placing these in. Perfect. Now the issue is we can't just place walls with normal blocks here. What we have to do is actually use a special block called a Minecraft fence, a wooden fence. So I'm just going to put these pillars so that they're 2 blocks tall. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and grab my crafting table here. I'm going to place it down. We'll put it here for kicks and giggles. I'm going to make myself some more planks. And what we need for this is a bunch of sticks, all right? And you'll see right here we have the option to make a spruce fence. I'm not sure if we'll need 30. I'll go ahead with 15. We're definitely going to need more than that. And what I'm going to do is just connect this fence up to the support pillars that we've put here in kind of a random pattern here, right? And what this is going to allow us to do is keep these cows in this pen, because they're not going to be able to jump over the fence, right? Because the fence, nothing can jump over, right? Now, the reason for this is the fence is technically, I believe, a block and a half tall, right? Maybe all 30 of those, yep, that would have done it. So if that's the case, we're going to need to bring these cows up home. What I think I'm going to do is just sprint away from them so they stop tracking me, hopefully. And we'll just grab the rest of our spruce logs. So as I was saying before, fences are technically, I believe, a block and a half tall, right? Since we, the player and other animals, can jump up an entire block, fences needed to be made a little bit taller, so that way things couldn't just jump up on top of them, which would kind of defeat the purpose of a fence, right? And perfect, we have ourselves a nice fenced-in area for our cows to live and roam around. Now what we can do is, I'll actually press the F key on this empty hotbar slot, and that will move the wheat from our offhand to our main hand. And I'm going to just right click on 2 of these cows. You'll see some hearts come up, and then they'll start doing their thing. Let's look away for a moment. And then we get the parrots and the bats, and we also get this adorable little baby cow, right? And this is how we will be farming our cows. This is how we will be creating our food source, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit more presentable. I'm also going to do something else here where I'm going to put a gate. I'll probably put 2 gates right here so I can get in and out of this. And I'll show you the crafting recipe for the fence and the gate in just a moment. Now, what I'm doing right now, actually, I should probably go over this, is I am stripping this spruce log. And the way to do that is you just go up to it with an axe and you right click on it. You'll get that great noise, and now we have a stripped spruce log. What this does is really just change the appearance. That's it. So for a safety measure, I went ahead and I put torches on every single one of these pillars. I also put a spruce slab on top of all of these as well. A little redundant, but what slabs do is if a slab is on the bottom half of a block, mobs will not be able to spawn on this, right? If you have a slab that's on the top half, so it would be like almost a full block here. I'll show you the difference here. Bam. Right? A slab that's on the top half of the block, monsters will be able to spawn on top of these 2, right? It treats it as kind of the top of a full block. They won't be able to spawn here. They will be able to spawn here. Now, because I've put the slabs on top of these log blocks, it is in the half block position, right? Let me go ahead and show you what I mean there. By putting another one on top, that looks like a full block, right? So the top of that can spawn mobs. I'm going to go ahead and break those, and I will put another slab on top of this, and now mobs can't spawn up there. I did go ahead and put torches all over the place, so it's a little redundant that I put the slabs up there. I did want this place lit up just in case, you know, the night comes and we're not near a bed. We do have light in here, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a spruce fence gate. And the recipe for that is 2 sticks on top of each other, another 2 sticks on top of each other with spruce planks in the middle, okay? Now, whatever planks you put in the middle, if it's oak or if it's birch, you will get that type and that color of fence gate. I'm going to go ahead and do this again. We need another fence gate. These do stack, excuse me. So we'll go ahead and make our 2 fence gates. I'm going to break this block right here, this fence block right there, put a fence gate on that, and then break this fence block and go ahead and put a fence gate there as well. Now, what fence gates do, as you can kind of see, they're a little hovering and connected to the fence bits here. If I go ahead and right click on this, of course you would come over while I'm doing this. If I go ahead and right click on this, it opens the fence gate so we can walk through. That means that these guys can walk through as well. They work like fences where you can't jump over them. So you just need to be careful that you shut the fence gate once you go through it. Okay? And real quick, the recipe for a fence, let me grab a couple of more sticks, is the opposite of a fence gate with planks on either side and then sticks in the middle. So now that we have this lovely pen for our cows, and we've bred 2 of them up, we actually have to wait 5 minutes until the cows are ready to breed again. So what we're going to do is go ahead and leave these guys alone for a little while. We're going to pick up our crafting bench, and hey, let's go check on our seeds, because we need the wheat for the cows. And our seeds are doing lovely over here. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. I'll harvest some of that sugar cane, and we'll go from there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our cows have been growing steadily and breeding very well. I've been actually editing the video, waiting for our cows to be able to breed again and grow up. It takes about 15 minutes for a baby cow to grow into an adult. You can speed it up a little bit by actually feeding baby cows some wheat. Now, if I jump down in here, you'll see little green particles go. I believe it just takes off, like it shaves off a few seconds. So usually in early game, kind of, sort of always, it's not really worth it to feed them wheat in order to get them to grow up any faster. Now, when do we harvest? I usually like to get at least 20 cows, full-grown cows in there. I'll go in, I'll breed all 20 of the full-grown cows. That'll give us 10 babies. And then I will harvest cows if I am hurting for food, right? And until the point where I'm hurting for food. Like right now I have 5 pork chops and 2 steak. So we should be good for a little while. But yeah, if you're really hurting for food, remember that for each cow, each 2 cows you have gets you only 1. So if you have 20 cows and you kill them all, if you breed them all, excuse me, you'll only get 10, right? So it's going to take you another 2 breeding sessions to get back up to 20, right? So just be patient. Be patient with the slaughtering. Don't worry, your food will come, and make sure you keep a mind on your crops here. And I'm actually going to plant some of these potatoes that I have that we got from the village here. Now, for some reason, crops in Minecraft seem to grow better when they're in staggered rows like this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to stagger wheat with potato, with wheat, with potato, with wheat, etc., etc., right? So I'm not really sure the science behind that, but it is science. Trust me, I'm a scientist. And again, before we sign off, I'm going to plant a couple of these berries as well. I want to kind of put them out of the way so that way I'm not running into them. So I'm thinking we might just take over, yeah, sure, this part over here. You want to leave a couple of rows between berries, so that way you can walk between them in order to harvest it. And maybe in the next episode, I'll show you a little trick to harvesting berries as well that makes it so they don't hurt you. Now, any excess berries that you have, you can either compost, you can save them for food. I think I'm going to just compost these 7, and we'll save the other ones for food if we need them. We should be okay with food. Also, oak saplings, which I've been harvesting some oak as well, are compostable as well, so we can use those for some compost, hopefully get us some extra bone meal in order to grow our crops a little bit faster. And last but certainly not least, let's not forget that we also have these pumpkins in our inventory, these pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and plant these here. Now pumpkins will grow. You plant these little seeds, they will grow into a vine, and then after the vine is fully grown, they have a chance every so often to sprout a pumpkin to an adjacent block, right? That's not farmland. So the pumpkin won't be able to grow from this vine to this land over here. It'll have to grow over here, right? Since there's a torch right here, this vine won't ever be able to grow here. So we'll have to go ahead and assume that this pumpkin will grow right here, which means this one will be forced to grow over here. We'll just have to be wary of the lava. But a little more on that once these pumpkins actually grow up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to be it for me for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming along on this journey with me, hanging out in that village, grabbing some cows. What are you looking at, cow? Get out of here. Just farming away, essentially Farming Simulator Minecraft edition today. Tomorrow, I think we're going to handle some of the storage that we've got. We've got one heck of a storage problem already, which is super easy to do in this game. And then we will, I think, go on our first little caving expedition. I need some better ores and some better gear, and tomorrow seems like a great day to go get some. So, if you like the video, please subscribe if you're new, and if you want to stick around and hang out on our crazy adventures, and we will see you all on the next video. Goodbye!